ministers from the Group of 7 bloc of wealthy nations held talks with their counterparts from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in Liverpool.
While most ASEAN representatives participated remotely because of the coronavirus pandemic, Philippines Foreign Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. and Brunei Foreign Minister Dato' Iriawan Pehin Yusof attended in person. ASEAN were invited by host British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss as the United Kingdom seeks to work more closely with Asian nations as part of an Indo-Pacific tilt following the United Kingdom's departure from the 27-nation European Union last year, both to boost trade and as a counterweight to China's dominance. G7 has launched a Build Back Better World initiative to offer developing nations funding for big infrastructure projects as an alternative to money from China that the West argues often comes with strings attached. A unified stance towards China continues to prove elusive, however, with the US and Britain generally more hawkish than other G7 members. The United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Liz Truss opened up the G7 Ministerial meeting in Liverpool with a speech which sought to steer the talks towards marshalling defenses against growing threats from hostile actors.
Yes, Truss said all nations have alternatives to dealing with authoritarian regimes as she chaired the meeting of foreign ministers from the UK, the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy and Japan.
And of course the G7 countries, as the world's leading democracies and economies, need to come together to advance the frontiers of freedom. We need to show a positive, proactive approach in making ourselves safer, more competitive, and better able to stand up for the values we believe in. We need to defend ourselves against the growing threats from hostile actors, and we need to come together strongly to stand up to aggressors who are seeking to limit the bounds of freedom and democracy. To do this, we need to have a strongly united voice. We need to work to expand our economic and security partnerships around the world, bringing more into the sphere of countries who stand up for the values we believe in. At this G7 meeting, I want to discuss, first of all, how we will reduce strategic dependency and increase resilience, including against economic coercion, how we will strengthen our security architecture, how we will grow our economic ties so that all nations have alternatives to dealing with authoritarian regimes.
And G7 countries said that they are united against any Russian incursion into Ukraine.
This is a warning that such a move would have massive consequences for which there would be a severe cost. Russia's buildup of troops near Ukraine's border has dominated a two-day summit of Group of 7 foreign ministers in Liverpool. Truss and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met on Saturday and expressed deep concern about the buildup of Russian troops on Ukraine's border. The two politicians said any incursion by Russia would be a strategic mistake for which there would be serious consequences. The U.S. and its NATO allies are concerned the movement of Russian troops and weapons to the border region may be a prelude to invasion. The two officials also said that they would inflict heavy sanctions on Russia's economy if that happens. Moscow denies planning to attack Ukraine and accuses Kyiv of its own allegedly aggressive designs. Truss warned before the meeting that free democratic nations must wean themselves off Russian gas and Russian money to preserve their independence, referring to the contentious Nord Stream 2 pipeline that was built to carry gas from Russia to Germany. Britain, which is not very dependent on Russian gas, is a critic of the pipeline. However, London's financial district and property market are major hubs for Russian money, and UK authorities have long been accused of turning a blind eye to ill-gotten funds from around the world.